Hey, it's Mike. I'm back doing another Vinyl Finds video. This is also a record store. It's the day after record store day, so I did get a couple of things this year, and I know it's all the rage talking about record store day. Either you like it or you hate it. I don't know. I'm usually pretty indifferent about it every year because they usually don't have a lot of things that I want. I saw people yesterday coming out of the store with like 2-3 bags full of records, and I don't know. I don't think that there just wasn't a lot that I was really interested. I think that there were like maybe 4 or 5 records that I was interested in, but really only 2 that I had to have. The rest of them I could take them or leave them, and I did. I left them, and so I got the 2 that I wanted. Word has it around that a lot of record stores didn't get their full allotment that they ordered, and so a lot of stores were short a lot of things. Either they had a lot lower quantity than they had thought that they were getting, or they just didn't get some records at all. This is the first time I went to my local record store, which is pretty near my house. It's like less than 10 minutes away from my house. Usually I drive all the way up into Phoenix and go to the In-Groove for record store day. I can usually count on them having a decent quantity of everything, and plus it's just the whole experience of just hanging out there, and it's a great record store, so I usually go there. But this time I decided I checked in with my local record store, the one that's really close, and they said that they would definitely have all the records that I wanted, and plenty of them, and that I didn't even have to wait out in line. I could just come in later in the morning and they should still be okay having those quantities. But then I found out after the fact that they didn't get all the records that they thought that they were going to get. So luckily I did go and wait outside. I went pretty early. I thought that they opened at 7, and I thought that if I went like at 4, that I would be in really good shape and be like right up there at the front or near the front of the line and get my pick of anything I wanted. And I don't know, I just kind of wanted to be up kind of near the front. And then when I got there at 4, it was still dark, of course, and there were at least 40 people in front of me. So I definitely did not count on that. There were some Taylor Swift. I know that she had like released her new album the day before on Friday, and I think that there were some like radio store day, record store day exclusives maybe with Taylor Swift, and that's what brought all the people out, because there were a lot of young people, and they didn't, I don't know how you can look at somebody and tell that they're a Swiftie, but they just kind of had that vibe about them. So I imagine that they weren't there to get the new Pearl Jam or some Rolling Stones reissue or whatever. I think that a lot of them were there for the Taylor Swift, which is cool. And it brings people out and gets people to buy records. I'm all for it. And yeah, so I was there. I sat in my chair that I brought, and from 4 a.m. and about 6:30, Courtney showed up and gave me some relief in the line so I could go run to the bathroom real quick and come back. So that was nice. And then we got into the store like about a half hour after they opened, because once they opened, it was still kind of slow moving because they only let in a few people at a time. It wasn't like some of those record stores that like you have to give them a list of what you want and they go get it for you and bring it to you and ring you up that way. But we can actually go into our store and pick out the records that we want and go browse the rest of the store as well if we want to before we leave. So yeah, so these 2 records that I'm going to show are the 2 that I wanted. And luckily, I was there early because I imagined maybe they would have disappeared later in the morning. There was still a long line of people. We came back by to get my car because Courtney brought her car. And we went and got breakfast, came back to get my car, and there was still a long line still going around the corner. So yeah, I don't know if they sold out of these or not, but I imagine that they did. The first one was this reissue of the live album by Susie and the Banshees called Nocturne. This is the cover is completely reimagined for Record Store Day. It's different. It's similar in design, but it's different than the original design. 2-record set, gatefold. The gatefold kind of doesn't leave a whole lot. I wish that it was like filled with pictures of like from the concerts or whatever, or pictures of the band, but it was just shapes from the album cover design. It's a really great, I've never owned this in any format before other than the DVD of the performance at Royal Albert Hall. It was 2 nights at that place, and that's where they made the recordings for this album. It's got fantastic songs. Some of my favorites, Israel, Dear Prudence, they did, and that was before it was released because Hyena, the album that the song appears on, hadn't been released yet. This is mostly filled with like songs from Juju and Kiss in the Dream House. And it's got Cascade. It's got a lot of B-sides and it's got Melt on it, but it's got a lot of B-sides and unreleased songs as well that they tend to do live. It's got the song Slow Dive, which is where the band Slow Dive got their name from. It's got Happy House, Spellbound. Really great performance. Like I said, I had the DVD, so I've watched it a few times, but I've never owned a physical copy of either the record or the CD. So I'm really happy to finally have this in my collection. So it's like really thick, like the packaging, the gatefold is like really thick, and when you put all the inserts in there, and I try to put it in my plastic sleeve, it's almost impossible to get in there, and then you got to fit 2 records as well. I think I need to get like slightly larger plastic sleeves. These are the inners, again, more just designs, layouts from the graphic design from the album covers, front and back, and then the records, black vinyl, 4 sides to the 2 LPs, 4 sides, and yeah, so that's that. And it also came with a poster, and I guess I'll open up the poster. The poster's got more of the design that you just saw, but it's actually got photos of the band as well. It folds out into 6 squares or whatever, and one side has the picture of the band. And oh, by the way, I forgot to mention Robert Smith from The Cure. He's the guitarist on this live performance, and he also joined the band after this and performed on their Hyena album, which is the album that came out after this live record release. So yeah, so that's the one side. And then the other side has got some more pictures of the band and some, I guess, the liner notes they decided to put on the poster instead of put on the album cover, which I wish they would have done the album cover like that and not put liner notes on the poster, but whatever. Who am I to complain? So I'm really happy to have that one. That was the first one I wanted. And then, oh, it's a half-speed master from cut at Abbey Road Studios. So I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm sure it sounds amazing. The second one that I wanted to get was a band called Ladytron. British electronic, electro clash, they call it, kind of music. Reminiscent of like early, if you don't know what they sound like, reminiscent of early Depeche Mode, like Broken Frame kind of era, like really kind of rudiment, just a little bit more, I don't know, just really like kind of simple synthesizers, futuristic synthesizers or whatever, but kind of pared down, not as lush as like the later Depeche Mode kind of stuff, kind of more their earlier sound. That's what it reminds me of, this album anyway. This is their second studio album, Light and Magic. It was released back in 2002 and reissued in 2011, and now this is a brand new reissue for Record Store Day on Network Records. And I love this album. It's one of my favorite of theirs. Their favorite albums of mine it's a 3-way tie between this one and The Witching Hour and Gravity the Seducer. And I still need to get The Witching Hour, but hopefully they'll do a reissue of that one as well, maybe a future record store day. But I'm really happy to have this finally. I've heard from a lot of people on Facebook that this was really hard to get, that a lot of people wanted this and couldn't get it. My store had 3 copies of it. I'm not sure how popular Ladytron is. Mike at the In-Groove had no idea who the band even was. But I know who they are. I've been following them since, I guess, 2000 when their debut album came out, and I've been a fan ever since, and really happy to have this. This didn't come with any inserts or any information, any liner notes or anything, so just plain paper, black paper sleeves is what the records came in. So I switched those out to these MoFi sleeves, but it's a translucent red vinyl, really nice. I hate it when they're like just a solid, bland kind of color, like an opaque color. I like it when they're translucent like this. If they're gonna make it a color, make it translucent, because I think it looks really nice. So there's 2 record set, 15 songs. My favorite songs off of there is like The Reason Why, the very last song. Light and Magic is great. Cease to Exist. 17, the very first song on the album. It's got a lot of great stuff. Blue Jeans, Evil, just a lot of great stuff. Highly recommend Ladytron. Yeah, it's kind of disappointed about the artwork in that they didn't put in like an inner sleeve or just something with liner notes and maybe some photos of the band. But I went back and looked at my CD of the same release. I bought this back when it came out, back in 2002. And it doesn't have anything inside either. Like, it's just the photos and then like just black with the song title. Like it's like no wonder they didn't really have anything to go to for artwork. They'd have to kind of recreate it, I guess, or create new stuff. That's the only kind of artwork that was inside the CD, which is not a whole lot to speak of. So I kind of guess that's why they just went with the black sleeves and said, fuck it. Anyway, so those were my 2 record store day releases that I wanted to get, and I got them. I thought about the Kristen Hirsch, but I didn't get it. I've listened to that album so many times, Hips and Makers, and I'm just not crazy about it. I love the Throwing Muses. I love everything that the Throwing Muses has put out. I love her voice. I love some of her solo music and some of like the 50-Foot Wave stuff, but that album, Hips and Makers, just nothing grabs me. So I didn't want to spend $49, $50 for that reissue. So I just passed. Next thing. So the rest of this are like finds, which really weren't finds. I don't think I found any of these in record stores. They were all ordered, special ordered. This first one, Wolfgang Press. I've been trying to find their early EPs. I got the other one, what was that called? Sweatbox, I believe it was called. This one's called Water. Early EP of theirs, produced by Robin Guthrie, 4 songs. One of these songs, The Deep Briny, was not released on the compilation that has all these EPs on a compilation, which I've shown before. It's called the Legendary Wolfgang Press. The Deep Briny does not appear on this vinyl version, but it does appear on the CD version of this. So yeah, just going out and collecting some of this old, filling in these holes that I have for these bands that I love. This 480 Records and Wolfgang Press. Love it. Water is the name of the EP. This is what the label looks like. Typical Von Oliver 23 envelope kind of design. And yeah, so that's that. 1985, that EP was released. Staying with the 4AD theme, Courtney picked this off my want list on Amazon and bought this for me. This is the Pixies live at the BBC from 1988 to 91, I believe, is the range. So everything, this covers their music during the Kim Deal era, so everything up until Trompe le Monde. A few songs off of each album of their first 5 releases, including Come On Pilgrim, and also some B-sides and stuff, the Radiator song from Eraserhead and stuff like that you always see on these kind of releases. A really nice packaging, 3-record set, really nice. And I collect the Pixies for the most part. I don't get like all the EPs and singles and stuff, but when they put out like official releases like this, I like to pick up the Pixies. These are the inner sleeves, really nice. This is very reminiscent to the one I showed a few videos back of that Come On Pilgrim at Surfer Rosa, that special edition. It's a lot of black and gold, black and white photography with the gold. Very similar design kind of theme with these. And just really happy to have this. They sound great. I listened to it some this morning. And it's just nice hearing the Pixies do their stuff live in studio way back when. I never got to see them live back in the day. I did see them just a few years ago, but you know, it's different with Kim Deal in the band and everything. I prefer the Kim Deal era. These are the labels for the 3 records, black vinyl. So yeah, Pixies live at the BBC. Happy to have it. Thank you, Courtney. That was a nice just surprise gift just because, so that was very sweet of her. Next one. I'm going to skip around a little bit because I like to kind of group things by, you know, if they're related. And this one isn't really related to what I just showed, but it's the Delight World Click. This is their very first album, their debut album. They put out 3 albums. This is their first one. This is a huge hit maker for them. It had that song Grooves in the Heart. It features Bootsy Collins is on this album, and Q-Tip sings on the song Grooves in the Heart. Q-Tip is my favorite hip-hop singer, rapper. I love him, so it's really cool to see him. And when you watch the video or you watch them perform live on YouTube, like they have a performance on YouTube on Arsenio, and Q-Tip comes out for that performance. That's really awesome. So I love Delight. I saw them live for their 3rd album, that tour, and they were great. They were fantastic. Saw them in Cincinnati. This is a music on vinyl release. Sounds fantastic. Sounds really, just a really nice recording. This is the inner sleeve that came with it. I bought that album back when it came out, when I was in college. It's been so long, and I finally bit the bullet and got it on vinyl. I had the CD when I first originally bought it, and saw Steve Carlson show this album, and I'm like, Steve Carlson has it, I need to have it. That's ridiculous. I should have this album. And so yeah, and then the other one that I got of theirs is Infinity Within. If I were to recommend a Delight album, I would recommend this one first. It's fantastic. I love this album. But I don't know how available this is anymore. I got this a couple years ago, but World Click is available definitely. So I would recommend picking up both of them. Let's see, when did that album come out? World Click, 1990 is when that came out. They're out of New York City. I know everybody probably knows Grooves in the Heart. Lady Miss Kier is just a very underrated singer. They're not just like a one and done kind of one-trick pony dance band. Her voice is just phenomenal. She's just an amazing singer, amazing talent. So yeah, go check out Delight. So then, kind of in that dance music kind of frame of mind, I also picked up this gold stamp promo copy. This is a French band, Lorita Mitsuko. This is their single, Marcia Bala. This came off of their first album. Huge hit for them. It's based on a story of, it's inspired by this Argentinian dancer who used to perform with them on tour early on. And the dancer died of breast cancer, which she was only 36 years old. So this is kind of a tribute to her, this song. And it's just awesome. I love this song. It's one of my favorites. My second favorite Lorita Mitsuko song. This EP is really cool. It comes with an English version, a French version, and an instrumental version of the song. And then the single version, I guess, which is a little bit shorter. The English version goes on for like 7 minutes. And then it's got another song, Jealousy, which is another song off their first album. I love Lorita Mitsuko. They're one of my favorite bands, and they don't get enough love on the VC. So shout out to them. This is a USA, this 12-inch that I got is a USA version. That comes with all these extra songs that some of the other 12-inch versions do not. It's on Sire Records. Love it. Lorita Mitsuko. Oh, this is the album. So this is their first album. This is where Marcia Bala originally comes off of, this debut album of theirs. So love it. Let's see. So staying with the whole French band theme, I finally got a copy of this. The band is Air, and they're a French electronic band. This is their first, this is their debut EP, Premier Symptoms. And it's 5 songs, 2 songs on one side, 3 on the other. And it's fantastic. I love this. I've always wanted to have this. Finally found a new copy that was like so affordable. Usually it's like in the $50 to $60 range, but I found it for under $40 and grabbed it. And we put it on the other night to listen to, and the recording is amazing. It sounds, it just fills the room. It's just so, like, the separation of all the instruments and everything is just phenomenal. It's just one of those records that it's just an audiophile type record that just sounds absolutely amazing on vinyl. So my favorite song off of this is called, I wrote it down because it's hard to read. They've got this kind of pointillism type of font on here, and it's hard to read. It's called Je dorms sous l'eau. I'm butchering. My daughter's taking French, but I am clearly not taking French. But it translates to I Slept Underwater. It's the 4th song on the album. I think it's like one of the best, if not the best, Air songs off of any other albums. And the one of the band members, Neil Godin, I was reading, he said that the 5th song, which is called Le Soleil Près de Moi, which is The Sun is Close to Me. He says that's the best Air song that they've ever done. And that's saying a lot, considering they put out a lot of really amazing music. So both of those songs, my favorite Air song and Neil Godin's favorite Air song, is on this little 12-inch EP. Fantastic. Love it. We were at a restaurant last night, Courtney and I. Her birthday's in a couple of days. And we were at a really nice fancy restaurant in Old Town Scottsdale. And they played a song off this album on the overhead, whatever, the background music. They were playing Astrud Gilberto, they were playing Portishead, and they played a song from this as well. So I thought that was pretty wild. Very coincidental. The inner sleeve looks like so, like that, with liner notes and whatnot. And it's on black vinyl, heavyweight vinyl. Highly recommend if you're going to buy any album, any Air album. Of course, Moon Safari is huge right now. Talkie Walkie is an amazing album. I love that album. And then that one for sure. Let's see, next. Speaking of more French bands, Stereolab, my favorite band. Their singer is French. The rest of the band is British. I believe they're all British. But anyway, and Letitia, the singer, she lives in London. This is a 12-inch EP, the Free Design, single off of their Cobra and Phases album, and it's got 4 songs. The Free Design is the main song, obviously, and it's like the most jazz song that they've ever done. They do a lot of songs that are very jazzy, jazz influence, whatever. But this, I think, is as far as they have ever taken the jazz thing. I'm not a fan of jazz at all. I really don't like jazz, but I love when Stereolab does it. I don't know. I just love the way that they do their compositions and stuff, and it's a lot of fun and it's enjoyable for me. It's the kind of jazz I like, I guess. So there's 4 songs, like I said, with Friends Like These and Les Aimes des Memes. The 3rd and 4th songs, those are excellent B-sides of theirs. So yeah, I'm just kind of going through and finding all the 12-inch and 7-inch singles by Stereolab since I've got all the other stuff. I'm just trying to find some of this hard-to-find stuff and fill in my collection. So really happy to have that. black vinyl. This is an original, they haven't reissued that 12-inch. This is the album that it comes off of. The free design comes off of this album, Cobra and Phases Group. Play Voltage in the Milky Night. That's where I kind of adapted my channel name from, this album. 2000, I think this came out in 2000. I didn't write the date down, but 2000. 1999? Yeah, this came out in 1999, sorry, this album. 1999, Stereolab. Also, I picked up, I fish around on eBay every once in a while and look for rarities and things that I want, and somebody had posted this original Margarine Eclipse on Elektra Records, original release, and it was less than 30 bucks, so I grabbed it. It was less than 30, and I gave them an offer that was lower than that, and they took it. So really happy to pick up a copy of an original Stereolab. This is Margarine Eclipse 2003, 2005? Shit. I should have looked that up again. 2003, I believe. And this is the album that came out right after sandwiched in between my two favorite albums. Mary Hansen, one of the band members, she died, and this is the first album after her passing, and it's all kind of about her. Margarine, Marge was her nickname. Her name was Mary, and her nickname was Marge, and this album has a lot of you know, kind of tributes to her. And I love this album, one of my top two favorite Stereolab albums, and I got an original for a great price and in good shape too. And then the last record I'm going to show here is, this is a reissue that I've been wanting to get. Kade Bush's The Dreaming, her 4th album. Love this album, very eccentric, very strange. I think it's her weirdest album that she's done. But I love it. It's got some amazing, fantastic songs. Suspended in Gaffa is one of my favorite songs of hers. And this is the Fish People reissue that's come out recently. And it came with an obi that goes with it. And it's not attached, but it comes with this obi, which is really nice. And this rounded cornered inner sleeve, which is an actual inner sleeve and not just an insert, with the lyrics. And then it comes on this really kind of gold and black smoky vinyl. Let me see if I can pull this out without touching. So yeah, so this really nice colored vinyl. They did this for, like, I don't know if they did it for all of her albums, but definitely like the first 6 albums at least they've done this treatment with the obi and the colored vinyl. And I'm not going to do that for all her early albums. I might get the Hounds of Love one. I already have like another Hounds of Love reissue. I don't know if I necessarily need to have 2, but I thought if I was going to get one of these, I'd get The Dreaming, since it's the one record I don't have right now. I have at least one version of all the other albums, so I wanted to get The Dreaming with this special kind of treatment, this deluxe limited edition kind of stuff, just so I had at least one of them. Yeah, Kade Bush, love her. So that's it. That's my finds. It's quite a few that I've gotten in the past couple of weeks. And this time next week, I will be going to see Slowdive. They're coming here to Phoenix, and Courtney and I are going to go check them out and support for this latest album of theirs. Really excited. I've never seen them live before, and I've created like a set list or a playlist on Spotify of what songs they're going to play or what they're likely to play, and we've been listening to that a lot, and really excited. They're playing some great stuff, some of my favorites. So yeah, Slowdive. So I'll be able to talk about that, I guess, the next time I see you. Thanks for checking in, and love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye.